All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to session number 2 of our Spring 2021 virtual conference. I am Rachel Altum, the online community manager for the Gypsy Nurse, and I'm here with my co-host, Steve Curtin, the CEO of the Gypsy Nurse. Hello, Steve.
Good afternoon, Rachel. Great to see you again. Session number 2 on an action-packed day of travel nursing fun and excitement here at the Gypsy Nurse.
Yes. Well, I will let you speak on our brand and what we're going to do this week and just pass it over to you.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well, welcome everybody. And as CEO of the Gypsy Nurse, I want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. And I want to thank our travel nurse community for all that you do, particularly during this COVID pandemic. The Gypsy Nurse's mission is to support travel nurses, and we hope you find this session and the others we have planned this week to be informative and helpful in your travel nursing journey. Please remember to visit the gypsynurse.com spring virtual conference agenda under the events tab for a full list of all of our virtual events this week. Please bookmark the gypsynurse.com as your source for travel nursing resources, including over 150,000 jobs from 65 top agencies. We also have housing options. We have great content published from experts on a daily basis to help you on your journey. As a reminder, these sessions will be recorded and available on demand on our website the week of April the 26th. The Gypsy Nurse is the #1 destination for travel nurses, and we thank you for your support. I would also like to thank today's sponsor, AMN Healthcare and Theyre Relentless, and our housing partners from Furnished Finder for taking time today to provide some great information on the best and safest ways to find short-term housing. Rachel, back over to you.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll show you guys how to find this event. We're going to come over here to events. Spring virtual conference. Once you go to the gypsynurse.com, then you're going to scroll down here and find your favorite session. And then we have ways to our previous ones. Like today we had Alyssa. You can watch it on demand. So you can click on any of these tabs and it'll take you right to her session. And the same for the upcoming sessions as well. So you can click on these tabs and learn more about it if it's coming up in the next couple of days. Like tonight we have Karen, who's very, very funny. You don't want to miss. And if you scroll down to the bottom down here, we do have our registration form. So if you fill this out, you will be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. And then you can get a double entry if you come back up here. Sorry if I'm going too fast for anybody and making you dizzy. If you come up here to the top, you can actually sign up, become a registered member for the Gypsy Nurse. So that way you can stay on top of everything travel nursing. And then you get a double entry for that Amazon gift card.
So and Rachel, we're not eligible for the gift cards, right? Or any other good prizes that we have to offer? Okay.
Unfortunately,
that
yes.
hurts. That hurts. All right.
We won't be able to. But yes, we have tons of great presenters, tons of opportunities for giveaways. We have 3 ways to win a giveaway today. One of you will be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card as well if you participate in any of the sessions today. So if you're commenting away, on this session, you'll be entered to win tonight with Karen. Even if you go comment on Alyssa's today, she'll love that, your feedback and everything like that. So Furnished Finder also is giving away $250 off a rental. So that's super nice. So be sure to participate in the comments for that. That's just for this session only. And then our sponsor, AMN, will be giving away a box of goodies, relaxing items. So that being said, we would like to thank AMN and bring on Sandra, who's their representative. She's a great representative. She is the Senior Director of Training and Development for the Travel Nurse Division. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Good afternoon, wherever our team is located. I've kind of lost sense of time, I feel like, from our first session, but I'm so excited to be here from AMN Healthcare and to just be a part of this amazing conference. The speaker this morning, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, definitely recommend it, and excited to see the team from Furnished Finders as well. But as Rachel said, my name is Sandra Vild. I am the Senior Director of Training and Development for AMN Healthcare. If you don't know, we are the largest total talent solutions company in the entire country. My role is really focused in travel nurse, so where all of you spend your time. Gypsy Nurse has always been such a great partner for us, so we're very excited to be here. I can't start any of these sessions or really anything that I do where I have an opportunity to talk to our travel nurses without saying thank you. 2020 was the year of the nurse, and I feel like nurses had to step up even more than you already do. It was just amazing to see how many hand raisers we had to really help with the COVID-19 pandemic. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so I just have to say thank you. I know it's been an emotional and very just draining year for so many of you, and we just couldn't do it without you. So thank you. Have to throw a shout out there to our amazing nurses.
Well, thank you,
Excited
Sandra.
to be here.
All right, so now we would like to bring on the stars of this session. We're proud to have them as our exclusive housing partner for the past 2 years. They are committed to supporting the travel nurse industry by constantly innovating, preventing online housing scams, and improving to make finding affordable monthly furnished housing easier. They have over 25,000 listings and are used by over 100 medical staffing companies. It is my pleasure to bring to you and the whole travel nurse community to the short-term housing experts, Brian Payne and Cami Norino. Hello. Hi, guys. How are you?
Guys.
Hello, Cami. Hello, Brian.
Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for having us today. We're very proud to be part of this community. We're very happy about this partnership. So we just hope to bring some useful and interesting information to all of you today. And I'd like for Brian to jump in and give us a little intro as well.
Sure. I got to say, Brian, one of the catchphrases of the past 12 months is you're on mute. And so I think you've got yourself muted. There we go.
That is true. Thank you guys
Brian,
so much.
nice to see you guys.
Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here. We love serving this community. We've been doing it for since 2014. And so a partnership with Gypsy just makes perfect sense. We're going on our 2nd year of our partnership, and we're just really, really happy to be here. So thank you, Steve and Rachel.
Thank you guys for your partnership and helping to support our travel nursing community. Of
course. As we always have new travel nurses coming in. So I'd like to just sort of start fresh and just say who we are. So Furnished Finder, we're an online housing marketplace, and this is where travelers go to find monthly furnished rentals without booking fees. So that's, a pretty important distinction from maybe a corporate rental or a vacation rental site. We have about 15 to 20,000 travelers, just like you guys, on our site every day, browsing our listings, using our tools. We invite you to furnishedfinder.com, take a look. And Rachel, I apologize, but I have to correct one of the stats that you had earlier, and it's probably maybe from when we very first started with you or something, but we've got over 70,000 listings on our site now. Okay. We're experiencing a lot of growth throughout that time. And also, traveler safety is just super important to us, probably the most important thing that we do. So every landlord that lists on Furnished Finder is authenticated, which is even, verify obviously, but the authentication part is to make sure that that landlord is who they say they are, because, online housing scams are real. It's part of what we're going to talk about today. We're committed. We've always been committed to eliminate fraud on our platform entirely. So we invested in a kind of a surefire way to basically lock our system down. So, landlords cannot list. They don't go live until they have to. They pass our sophisticated authentication challenge software that we have. So it's pretty awesome. It was expensive and it took a long time to do, but travel nurses are important. Our users are important, and you just can't put a price on traveler safety.
Okay. So we love having you as our housing partner.
Thank you guys so much. So yeah, Cami, where would you like to start?
Go ahead and get started. Awesome. So today we're going to be covering a how-to guide to short-term housing. We want to make sure that we cover relevant items that are going to be important for you guys out there on the road. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first slide. Perfect. So the main topics that we're going to be looking at today are going to be how to find short-term housing, of course, tips and tricks on how to find the perfect match for you on your housing search. The second topic we're going to be covering, like Brian mentioned, is going to be how to avoid scams. And the third item is going to be how to stay safe out there on the road. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we'd like to start, Brian already mentioned a little bit of, what we do, but we want to present you guys with the reasons why, why Furnished Finder. First of all, besides the verification that we do on our landlords, we also want to make sure that every single property that is posted on our map, on our network, is budget friendly. So we analyze and we chat and we educate our landlords to make sure that the properties that are getting posted on our system are properties that are well priced based on the understanding that we have of your stipends. Additionally, we always make sure that you never have to pay booking fees. All of your interactions, all of your negotiations are always going to be directly between you and your landlord. So there are no fees that you as a traveler have to pay that go to Furnished Finder. Everything you pay goes directly to your landlord. We also have, yes.
Can I mention one thing, which is pretty awesome, is that there are no, obviously we've said there's no booking fees, but there's no markups either. So we're not marking up the rent as well. It's the difference between a corporate housing site where they'll find a property for $1,200 and by the time it gets to you, it's $1,700 bucks. So like Cami said, the price that's listed, that landlord set that price. In terms of that price, if there's a deposit or maybe an application fee or screening or anything like that, the landlord set all of those.
Exactly. And, on our end, we're huge on education. So we try to make sure that all of our landlords have a full understanding of what it is like to work with you guys and to cater to your needs exactly what you guys are looking for. As well as, our map, we have put a lot of resources into making sure that we have coverage everywhere you guys are going, whether it's a smaller city or a big, location. We have over 70,000 properties mixed between room rentals, single properties. We have hotel partners as well. So the portfolio of properties that we have available in Furnished Finder is huge for you guys, so that anywhere you guys are going, no matter what time of the year, you guys will find something on our map. Additionally, and this is something that we would really like to cover today and just share with you guys, we have been negotiating and establishing a lot of new partnerships with big hotel brands all over the US. So there is a map that is specifically for hotels on FurnishedFinder.com where you guys can access negotiated discounts that we, as part of the Furnished Finder team, have negotiated with each one of these brands just for you guys, no matter if you guys are going for a week just to check out the city while you find something for a longer period of time, or if you want to stay in a hotel for 90 days. We have discounted rates for you guys available as well. And if we can go over to the next slide.
Yeah, I'll take this one, Cami. This one's near and dear to my heart. I mentioned it earlier about how we protect our travelers and what we've done in terms of verifying landlords. I could go through the slide, but the gist of it is essentially is that every landlord is verified. Traveler safety is the utmost important to us. So when you're going through Furnished Finder, you know that every listing that you see there has been verified, and that person, the landlord behind that listing, has been authenticated as a real person. They have to go through and answer questions that nobody else will know. A scammer can steal an ID, and quite often they do have IDs that match their alias. This is way more in depth than just an ID. They have to answer out of wallet questions. They have to answer questions that maybe came from a credit report, or hey, what type of car did you drive in 2008? What mortgage did you have? What street did you live on in the year 2020? Things like this that scammers just would never know. So and once they pass that, they go through another sophisticated check as well. So if I leave you with anything, is that Furnished Finder is a safe place to come and find housing.
Exactly, exactly. And additionally, on top of, this landlord authentication process that we have in place prior to a property going live on our map, we also have different things that we do in order to keep our platform safe. We monitor internal communication for common keywords that all of those landlords online are using. So we have learned and identified what they say, how they say it, and we can identify each one of those threads and flag those accounts as soon as we detect that. We also have a tool that is available to you guys that we've mentioned before, and it's the owner verification report, which is available under Traveler Resources. So if you have a property that comes from a different platform that is not Furnished Finder, if you found somebody on Facebook, on Craigslist, you can always bring those over to us and we'll check them out for you. We support the law enforcement agencies and investigations of fraud. So we also collaborate with law enforcement in order to find these bad actors that are creating, issues for travelers out there on the road. And on top of that, additionally, we have listings that go through an additional step of verification in that you guys will be able to identify with the icon that is on the screen right now for the verification badge. This landlords, on top of going through our authentication software, they also provide photo IDs, utility bills that we check against records as well to make sure that they get that, they go through that additional process in order to protect you guys too. So, we do everything we can on our end to make sure that every property we have in our system is verified and safe for you guys, because for us, it's very important to protect you guys out there on the road. So if we can go to the next screen. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit more into how to find short-term housing. The first step was going to be to research and compare locations. In order to help you guys as well, we've put together a tool that we call the Sniping Calculator, and we'll dive into that in just a sec. The second step is going to be to search our map, and we'll go through that as well. We'll also show you how to submit a housing request on Furnished Finder, how to dive into our hotel map and view the discounts, and then, of course, the very famous Facebook groups. Let's go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Awesome. So first up, whenever you guys are on the road, you guys have been offered a contract, maybe you have 2 locations that you're looking into. It's always good to dive and understand exactly what is going to happen with my stipend in that location. How far is this stipend going to take me? So we in Furnished Finder, we've put together a tool that we call the Sniping Calculator. You guys can find it under Traveler Resources or under our homepage. You can easily type in the location that you're looking at, let's say San Diego, for example, or you guys are looking to San Francisco. It does not matter. We have data for every city in the US. And you will be able to find how many properties we have, depending on what type of property you guys are looking for. So rooms and private units and hotels as well. And the pricing distribution. So how are bedrooms or single units priced? How are rooms priced? And then you can also compare data that we have available of demographics on that page. What are the most popular professions? And we're going to be bringing in a lot more information within the next few months on that page. You can easily compare multiple cities and see how properties are going to be priced in that particular market.
Yeah, it's important because you guys have a big decision. Like Cami said, you're comparing 2 or 3 different locations, and chances are maybe you've never been to any of them. So you're looking at, say, San Diego, Nashville, and Bakersfield, California. Well, you're going to kind of be able to compare those and go, well, geez, yeah, San Diego is a lot more expensive than Bakersfield, or whatever those choices are. It can be a very helpful tool for you as a traveler to say, okay, well, let me go in, let me understand the housing costs before I make a decision on that job.
Exactly. And not only housing, but when we go into how to protect yourself, we'll talk a little bit more about researching the neighborhoods, researching the cities. This research part of the process it's key for you guys to find the perfect match, you know, like not only housing, but assignment-wise as well, and make sure that you're satisfied with your decision. So let's go and dive into the second slide, please. Now we're going to go into ShortTerm map. This tool can serve you guys as well as a research tool, or once you have decided what city you're going to go to, you can just dive in right away. Type in your city, select what your budget is, and then tell us a little bit more about what you're looking for. If you're not sure just yet, then just use all the filters that you have available on our map to see exactly what's going on in that market. As you guys can see on the screen, we took a quick screenshot of one of our cities here, and you can see that there's a lot of available properties. We have tons, different types. You can zoom in and out if you want to dive into a particular neighborhood, which is always going to be very, very helpful, just to give you an understanding of where you're going to be located. So if you have your hospital address and you know where it is in the city, just look for that on the map, and you will be able to see what's going on in that surrounding area, and if there's a property that matches what you're looking for. Now, once you have found what property you like from what you're seeing on here, feel free to reach out directly to our landlords. Most of our landlords make their phone number available for you. And then we also have internal tools that allow you guys to message our landlords directly. And you can ask all the questions you need to ask. You can do a FaceTime video with your landlord to take a look at that property as well. We have photos available. We have a lot of information available for you guys of each one of these properties.
I just wanted to mention one thing is that we know there's a lot of housing options out there, and we encourage you to use them all, to go take a look at them all. But definitely use us because we're kind of like wholesale, right? Use us in a way that so you know that what is the base price for that area. So you can just glean a lot of information strictly from this map and the pricing. And a lot of times what I've found is that you'll be able to find the same property that you find elsewhere for hundreds of dollars less.
Exactly. A lot of our landlords have decided to switch from vacation rentals and other types of rentals into working with you guys. So you will find discounted prices available on Furnished Finder. It's just a matter of connecting with your landlord and negotiating directly with him or with her. Perfect. Now let's dive into how to submit a housing request. The housing request is a feature that we made available for you guys to make your lives a lot simpler, easier. So if you're super busy and you really don't have the time to go to ShortTerm map and click on each one of those properties and reach out to each one of those landlords, then just go straight for the housing request. On this housing request, we ask you just to fill out some basic information about your length of stay, who you're traveling with, if we're maybe bringing a pet or 2 pets, and what your budget is. And additionally, we've recently added a radius feature that allows you guys to select with what properties you're going to be matched with. So you can use this if you just want to be matched with properties that are very, very close to the city center, or if you are looking in an area that maybe is a little bit more rural and you are open to driving a little bit more, then you can just play with that radius. And you can just play with that radius, and you will be matched with properties that are located in the cities that are listed to the right of the screen. Right underneath the radius, we also have additional filters that you guys can select. And this will show you real time how many properties you will be matched with. So if you are looking maybe for a pool, or if we need to have free parking on premises, then just make sure that you select those filters and you will be matched with those properties exactly.
Yeah.
So this tool is absolutely fantastic. Our landlords will be notified whenever you submit this form, and they will reach out back to you.
Yeah, and keep in mind it's a lot more specific. I mean, we have a lot of long-term Furnished Finder users, travelers that have used this feature, used this tool for a long time, and we have continually updated it. So if you haven't used the housing request lately, try it out for your next assignment. The radius really dials in so you don't get results that are, maybe too far away from your assignment. And then those other filters as well really do help to narrow in and give you the best results possible.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and go to the next screen. There you go. Fantastic. So now let's take a look at the hotel map. You, of course, can find hotels on our main map, but we also have a tab that is specifically just listing all of our hotels. So same process, you're just going to type in the city, state. You're going to be able to sort based on, if we have pets, welcome. If we have a kitchenette, are we looking for a pool in this hotel? You can see all of our available hotels. Click on book now once you find a hotel that you're interested in. And you're either going to get two options. You're going to be able to submit a booking request form that is going to be delivered directly to your hotel so they can get back to you with a quote. Or you're going to be redirected to their site to take a look at the negotiated rates that we have available for you guys as well. We have fantastic partners all over the US. The biggest brands that you guys are already staying at are working with Furnished Finder to give you guys the best possible rates available for Furnished Finder. So whenever you reach out to the hotel, maybe you're giving them a call, maybe you're sending them a message, make sure you mention that you're coming from Furnished Finder so that they can show you guys what rates they have available for you that are part of that big negotiation. And then lastly, we also have Facebook groups. So we want to recommend, of course, the Gypsy Nurse. We're their main housing partner, but this group is fantastic for you guys to just post what you're looking for. You're going to get, offers. You're going to get landlords that are going to reply back to you. Our team is also going to be able to help you recommending properties based on what you have posted that you need. And then, of course, our group, Travelers Housing by Furnished Finder, you will be able to view exactly what properties we have. You'll interact with landlords, with other travelers, and then with our team members that are specialized looking for properties for you.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in. I think this is a great segue into our next section as well. And these Facebook groups are really, really important. I mean, they're a great way to have community. You can connect with your peers. You can ask questions and learn just all sorts of information. But they are public groups. So you definitely do have to be careful, especially because everybody that's in the group, anybody can really just send you a private message or a direct message through Facebook Messenger. So just keep an eye on those direct messages. Scammers are aware of these Facebook groups. You have to know that. They have multiple, although admins do an incredible job to try to screen everybody, but occasionally they get through. I know Gypsy Nurse has a team dedicated to their groups, and we have a team dedicated to our group as well. So we do everything we can to prevent that. But Facebook is not our platform, right? We have to work in and under the Facebook platform. So just realize that these are public groups. And scammers can be on here preying on travel nurses to try to scam them for deposits. So it happens. One thing to note is that if somebody reaches out to you, say they DM you through Facebook Messenger and they say, hey, I've got a great place. It's on Furnished Finder and it's in San Diego. I'll send you some pictures. We always recommend that you ask, what listing is it? Like, give me the URL. So you can go and view the listing on the Furnished Finder site. If they're not on the Furnished Finder site, we cannot vouch for them. They are not authenticated. Just because they send some pictures offline or say that they have or had a Furnished Finder listing doesn't mean anything. So actually get the URL to make sure that they have an active Furnished Finder listing.
Exactly. And as I mentioned before as well, we have a team internally, our QA team, that is checking out all of those listings all the time. And it's checking out every other listing that you guys find somewhere else as well if you guys ask for that. So just ask for help. Our team is available to help at any time. We have people, 7 days a week. So just reach out through our channels. We have Facebook Messenger if you wanted to reach out through Facebook. We have our contact us form online. You know, we have our phone lines are available too via email to our customer service department. So just let us know how we can help in this search and make sure that you guys are safe. And always trust your gut. I think that's the best advice that we can give you guys. If you feel that you're chatting with somebody that you found on Facebook and it just doesn't feel right, you know, the way they're communicating, what they're asking from you. So just trust your instincts, reach out to our team, we'll help you check them out too. Now for one of our active members right now that is asking a question, can we use your housing guide even if it's not for a nursing assignment? Yes, you can, Sharon. You know, our site is open for all of you.
Yeah, you know, we started, I don't know if you guys know this, but Furnished Finder started really going after and building a resource for the travel nurse community. And I know everybody says travel nurses, but we're really, you know, all healthcare providers who work remotely. And that's how we started. We built this this platform specifically for you guys. So please use it. It's a resource for you and it's free.
So let's jump into the next slide. Fantastic. Brian, would you like to give us an introduction to KeyCheck?
Yeah, KeyCheck is a sister company of ours, and we recommend them for tenant screening. You know, it's basically landlord tools. So maybe a landlord would need a lease, a landlord would need a tenant screening report, or would like to offer online rent payments. So that's what KeyCheck is. I'd like to address one thing, and there's you know, it always gets a lot of hits, a lot of comments and posts back and forth about this topic. And it is, I'm a travel nurse and I'm already background checked. Do I need to get a tenant screening report as well? And I will say this, that as a landlord, and I used to be a landlord, that's how we started renting to travel nurses. And I would always do tenant screening reports, regardless of them already being background checked, primarily for a few reasons. And number one, a background check really just is a felony check to make sure they're not a felon. And that's good. But the expectation of a landlord is already that you're not a felon. So as a landlord, I would need more information than just, hey, they've passed a background check, which is good. They're not a criminal. But I would want more information, like, are they paying their bills on time? Do they have a lot of items in collections? Do they have they ever been evicted? Things like this. So one thing I would like to mention is the KeyCheck tenant screening reports are all soft pull reports. So think of like when you go to a car dealership, they're going to run your credit. That's a hard inquiry, and it will show up on your credit report. Same with a bank for a mortgage. But the way that KeyCheck does it is different. It kind of mimics the way that you would pull your own report. You know how you can get a free credit report every year. You can pull that report and then choose to share it with the landlord. And when you do it that way, that's considered a soft pull, and it does not harm your credit. So when you do a tenant screening report, or your landlord requests a tenant screening report through KeyCheck, it is a soft pull and it will not harm your credit.
Exactly. And something new that will be released very soon, we will keep you guys all in the loop for this new product, is our rental collection feature for secure payments. Our travelers have been asking for this. Our landlords have been asking for this. So under KeyCheck, you will all soon be able to process your rental collection. So you can just let your landlord know that you want to pay your rent securely through KeyCheck. We build this product to make sure that we can also help you guys be safe out there whenever you're processing payments too. So this platform is extremely user-friendly, and it will allow you guys to process your security deposits, your cleaning fees, and any month-to-month rental fees that you negotiate with your landlord.
And it's more than a payment platform. I mean, it is a payment platform, however, but we're about to start talking about protecting yourself from online scammers, right? If you pay, and this is very important, if you are a traveler and you are paying your rent, like for the very first time, they're asking for a deposit, maybe a cleaning fee up front, and a partial rent maybe for the month. So it could be maybe $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever. But you've never been there, right? You're in, Tennessee, and now you're going to be moving to California. So it's incredibly important to pay with a credit card because you have recourse. Scammers love Zelle, scammers love Cash App, things like that, where they can get you to move money without recourse. And once you make that payment, think of it like a wire. There's no recourse. It's gone. I mean, that's why even Zelle and those companies tell you, like, make sure, do you know this person before you send it? So it's very, very important to not use those and to use a credit card, because with a credit card, what I mean by you have recourse as a traveler is that you can dispute it and go, yeah, I paid with a credit card. And guess what? The property is not what I expected. It's not this or it's not that. You have recourse. You can dispute that payment through your credit card. Through Zelle or Cash App, you have no recourse as a traveler. So it's a traveler safety thing too.
Exactly. And as a reminder, in addition to what Brian just mentioned, KeyCheck and these features that you guys are seeing on the screen right now, these are not only for Furnished Finder properties. If you found your property somewhere else, bring it on board in here and just make sure that you're being safe and that you're taking every precaution to protect yourself out there. So, if you found a property on Facebook or on Craigslist, whatever you guys look for properties, you can always process your rental collection and just protect your money, protect your investment here through KeyCheck. Fantastic. There you go. So we wanted to also share with you guys some information that is relevant on regards to how online housing scams. Throughout the years, we in Furnished Finder, we have learned so much, and we put so many of our resources towards learning and identifying online housing scams so that we can better protect you on the road. Here are the three main categories of the online housing scams that we have detected out there. The first one is going to be the fake ad. It's extremely easier to spot. It's just a fake ad. You can easily tell that those photos, they're too good to be true. That price, in San Francisco for a 2-bedroom apartment at $1,200, it's just really not looking all right. And then the communications that you have with whoever is representing that property are odd. This person is maybe not in town, or this person is telling you, hey, you have to put in a deposit before even looking at the property. Those are really easy to spot, but it's always worth to mention. We also have learned about spoof ads, which is the copy of a legitimate ad, but with lower price. And then, of course, they change the contact information. These are a little bit harder to spot because it is a legitimate ad copy. So what they do is they take the same photos that you probably found on another listing that is legitimate. They reduce the price about 30–35%. And then they change the contact information from being, hey, it's Brian Payne, to being Brian Payne 123, and they change that email address, or they change the name. That way you're chatting with the scammer instead of being the legitimate owner. And then the third category that is the toughest category to detect when you're communicating with them is the identity theft, where the scammer assumes basically the identity of the real landlord of that property that you're chatting with. So this person assumes the identity. They can even in some cases provide you with fake photo ID that has the same name of the landlord. These are very hard to detect. That's the reason why, once we've learned about all of this stuff that is going on, we put in place that authentication software that Brian mentioned earlier in our conversation. That way we can just spot it right away. As soon as if they try to go for the platform, we'll detect them, we'll block them, and we'll kick them out.
Yeah, and these guys are relentless too. And they're just, I mean, there's nobody lower on the planet than these guys. They're terrible. And to go after our nation's healthcare heroes is just, there's a place in hell for them, I swear. But that said, they're relentless and they're believable. So they've already thought. The thing about liars, right, is you have to think 3 steps ahead. But what if somebody says this? Well, I've got a lie for that. And then you have to have another lie to protect that lie and another lie, to back up that lie. So they always have something ready for your next question. Oh, well, I don't know if this is really you. Oh, here's my ID. The ID matches the name. Well, and if that's good enough, then they're going to get your money. But a lot of times it's not, most times it's not good enough. And that's what we're here to educate you. Just seeing somebody's ID is not good enough. You don't know truly if that's a real ID, and it could just be, an ID to an alias that they made up, or they bought a fake ID on the black market, built an alias, and then they're here online to scam you. So, like Cami said, just use your gut. If something's not quite right, if they're just hammering and going after that deposit, they're really trying to, put the screws on and put the hard sell and say, hey, well, if you don't get this, somebody else is going to. And it's okay to take a step back and say, okay, no problem. Don't go faster than you have to. Don't let them dictate your timing and your flow. And I know housing is hectic, especially when you're at the clock and saying, I gotta move in 2 weeks, and I don't have a place yet. I know it can get hectic. They're depending on your desperation, and they know as every day that goes by, you're a little bit more anxious to find that place. And I know, but it's okay to take a step back and say, you know what? I'm not comfortable, and just let it go, because something's not right. In your gut, something's not right. We have hotel partners. They're safe. You get discounts on hotels. Go park in a hotel for a week or 2. Get some boots on the ground. Go see some places. Scammers they'll say, oh yeah, I'll go ahead. You can see the place, but guess what? That date and time, right before you are supposed to show up, their mom just got sick, or they just got COVID, or their dad's in the hospital, or something, some sob story. So there's so many things out there that you have to be aware of. And as a new traveler, we just want to educate you a little bit, to be aware of some of the things that are going on out there.
Exactly. And let's jump to the next. There you go. So we have listed just 6 big items, just 6 things that can help you identify scams whenever you're looking for housing. First one, scammers never in town. When you start communicating with the scammer and you're like, yeah, let's do a FaceTime. I want to check out the property before I put that deposit down. Oh, sure, but I'm not in town right now. So go ahead and put that deposit down, and I'll show it to you when I get back to town. That scammer is never going to be in town. So that first flag, red flag, the scammer is never going to be in town whenever you're available to take a look at the property. Second tip, the scammer will always go to great lengths to try to appear legitimate, just like Brian mentioned. If you ask him, hey, I don't know, how do I know that you're legitimate? Here's my passport, here's my driver's license, here's, they're gonna throw it all at you just to try to appear legitimate. A legitimate landlord is not going to be pushing to be sending you their driver's license on Facebook Messenger. It's just, that's not how it works. So just be careful, whenever you're interacting with somebody that is just offering way more information up front, that the information that you are asking for, just watch out. Additional, third point, bad spelling, grammar, poor wording. We've seen so many messages. We've analyzed so many conversations, and this is actually one common thing that we found. There's always going to be bad spelling, very poor grammar in everything that they're sending over to you.
Or also kind of like the British spelling of things like shop with two P's and an E, or travelers with two L's, or just something that goes, that is kind of strikes me as odd. We've seen that before with the kind of the British spelling of common words.
Mm-hmm. They're always going to push for money. That's what they're after. They're after money, so they're either going to be telling you to please send a deposit and then send first month's rent, and send your cleaning fee up front via Zelle, via Cash App. They're never going to want to go through a legitimate route. So they're always going to be pushing for these apps that allow them to create accounts without having to be verified before. So, that's one of the biggest reasons why, KeyCheck is in place here to help out.
Yeah.
So you don't put your money at risk by sending it through one of those non-verifiable apps.
Yeah, and we have a team. Like Cami said earlier, use our team. Reach out, even if you find a place on another platform. It doesn't matter. We're here for the traveler. We want you to be safe no matter where you find your housing. So use this as a resource and go, hey guys, does this make sense to you? And we'll dig in and we'll reach out to that landlord and put them through that process. And it doesn't cost you anything. We just want you to be safe. You just reach out to us. We're here to help.
Exactly. Yeah. On our Facebook group, we see, conversations every single day from our travelers, just like, hey guys, I was approached by this person, check out the conversation. Just feels weird to me, so just reach out. There's a huge community out here of people that have done this before, have been in your position before. And then the resources that we Furnished Finder have in place as well to help you guys out there. So always communicate. I think that's the best advice that we can give you guys. Just reach out, talk, ask questions, and we'll help you check out whoever you're talking to. And then, of course, just the last point that is always good to mention, the rent that they post on those fake listings or they're giving you, that they're offering you, is always going to be a little bit better than the norm. So if you're going to a big city and you've used our Sniping Calculator to check out how much places are going for in that market, and this person is telling you that their rental is going for $500, $600, $1,000 cheaper, that's a red flag. Their average pricing that it's just common in all locations that you guys go to. So use that Sniping Calculator to actually understand where you're going and what properties are going to be priced like. Anything that's out of that range, that could be a big, big red flag.
Yeah, there's a psychological component to it, and they know it. They're very smart, and they know that once they lower the price, maybe 20-30%, not too much because they want the money, right? But if they lower it just enough, 20-30%, you're going to take notice and go, well, that's a nice property for that price. And then it can do one of two things. Either one, it could send up a red flag, which is what we want you to do. Be skeptical, right? Go, okay, well, let's take a look, and it might be too good to be true. Or what they want you to do is to get a little bit emotional about it. Ooh, this is a good deal. I really want this place because it's nice and it's close and it checks all your boxes, and it's like $400 or $500 less than everywhere else. So we want you to lean towards, hey, that might be a red flag, instead of, oh my gosh, I better hurry up and grab this rental before anyone else does.
Exactly.
They're just trying to create that urgency. Mm-hmm. And you need to be the voice of reason and just be calm, collected, and don't put any money down until you have verified in every capacity that you can.
Exactly. Let's jump into the next slide. Okie dokie. So now we're going to jump into how to stay safe on the road. So you found a place, you're going to a new property that you rented, you're going to a hotel, even if you're going on your RV, that's the life. We just wanted to share with you guys a couple of tips that we found are helpful for you, especially if you're traveling alone. First thing, always check your neighborhood crime stats. just research. That first initial phase of research is always going to be key. Make sure that you know where you're going. Try to get there during the day and, tour the neighborhood and just fully understand where you're going to be living, so that you don't put yourself in a situation that could be potentially dangerous for you. If you're road tripping all over the US, of course, pack an emergency car kit. You never know what's going to happen. So just make sure that you have, water, lights, that you have everything that you need to have available in your car. In case you're stranded somewhere. So that's always going to be important. Lock the doors. It's a funny little tip, but a lot of people forget to do it. Just keep your door locked whenever you're in your property, whether it's a hotel room, whether it's a property, a room rental or a single property, and invest in an alarm doorstop. These are $15 on Amazon, and they're going to be really hard if somebody tries to open that door. So it's just a cool little gadget to have that is going to really help you feel safer. Of course, and don't leave any valuables laying around. If you have your computer, your phone, if you brought jewelry with you, anything that is valuable, just don't show it off. Just keep it safe, keep it inside, just leave it locked. You can always buy a lock and just keep it in your room or in your car, just to put your valuables in there as well. Always be aware and trust your instincts. So if you're walking alone at night, don't have your headphones in and just be walking mindlessly on a new street that you don't know of, or just new places that you've never been to, and trust your instincts. Just making sure that you follow your gut. And it's like the safest thing you can do. If you feel that this person that you're talking to is giving you a weird vibe, or that the person that you're negotiating with on Facebook, it might sound too good to be true. So just follow your gut, and it's generally going to take you to the right place. Also, get to know your neighbors. That's always a good tip we give our landlords, because they're going to be giving you the best tips of where to go, where not to go, what places are safe, what places are not going to be safe for you. And it's always good to make sure that you're creating community wherever you go. So, making new friends, getting to know the city with somebody. So just build that community, and you're always going to have that support network whenever you're in a new location. We've also talked in some of our blog articles about maybe considering carrying some form of personal protection. So mace or pepper spray, it's always going to be good for you to have in your purse. And then, of course, I know of a lot of our traveling nurses that take personal defense classes, which I think is the best thing we girls can do out there as well to protect ourselves. So always something good to consider. And last but not least, always let somebody know if you're headed somewhere. If you post on social media and you're going to check out a new restaurant, or you're going to be taking a little road trip somewhere by yourself, make sure that somebody knows where you're going. That way, if you get in trouble or if you need any help, somebody actually will know, okay, this person was going to this restaurant, or she was going out with this people. So just let a contact, maybe your neighbor or somebody close to you, know where you're going at all times.
That's really good.
Exactly. Anything you'd like to?
I was just going to mention one other thing is about, the different states have different laws regarding what type of personal protection that you can carry with you. So just make sure you're aware of I know you're bouncing around from state to state. So just kind of be aware of the state laws and what you're carrying, if anything. So be aware of that. Cami, there's a few questions. Do you want to move on to a couple questions?
Yes, of course. So I see a couple of questions on our comments here. So the first question that we have not addressed yet is from Gail. Do you also have resources for nurses relocating before taking a travel assignment in the event housing is not offered?
Hotels.
Yeah.
We have hotel partners. Is that what you mean by in the event housing is not offered? The majority of travelers, they take the stipend on purpose. They want the stipend. They want the control of where they're going to go, where they're going to stay. So even if your staffing company doesn't offer housing, I think 90% or more of travel nurses are taking the stipend, by their choice. So, but yeah, that's what we do.
Exactly. And just to add a little more to what Brian just said, on our platform, we have recruiters that use our map to find housing for their travelers. We have a ton of travelers that use our map directly to negotiate those housing options directly. So if you want to just use our system, we have hotel partners where you can stay just for a week. If you're just getting to know town, and then you'll find something a little bit more permanent. We have this kind of rates for weekly stays, for nightly stays, and then for monthly stays if you want as well.
Yeah. Another question is, can you speak to what may be negotiable with the landlord? So, yeah, I mean, you have to realize kind of in the marketplace, it's just all about what they can get, right? The market drives the rates. So things are negotiable. Absolutely. You can ask, hey, I don't have a lot for deposit because I haven't got my other deposit back. Is there a way that you can work with me on deposit? They might not. Keep in mind that you're in a very competitive space to find month-to-month furnished housing. There's a big demand, and usually the inventory goes very, very fast. So yes, you can absolutely try to negotiate, Daniel. I know a lot of our landlords really love renting to travel nurses and other healthcare providers, but yeah, it's up to the individual landlord of what they're willing to compromise on.
Correct. Now, I see Akila is asking us, what's the name of the lock on the doors that you can open with a code and not a key? Those are keyless. Let me tell you, keyless door locks, and you can just find them on Amazon as well as Home Depot sells those too. And I know we've seen some that you can use yourself that are not provided by the landlord, but a lot of our landlords actually do have the keyless door locks as well. So they'll give you a code and they'll change it for any new traveler they have. Yeah. But you as a traveler can also carry your own and attach them to the door as well.
And we could put some additional notes in the show notes here, which should be at the bottom. But as we wrap up, I'd just like to say thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Please travel safe out there. Reach out to Furnished Finder if we can help you in any possible way. And we're just grateful to serve you guys in any way that we can.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Brian, and thank you, Cami. That was tremendous information, number one. I think that people can understand why we decided to partner with you guys as our exclusive housing provider, and the services that you provide to the travel nursing community and the ease of use and just being there as a resource for the travel nursing community, I think is tremendous. So hopefully people can see why we have partnered with you, and a run through of what you have to offer for the community, as well as how to stay safe and how to prevent scams is invaluable, because you're right, Brian. Unfortunately, there are people out there that not only take advantage of renters, but also have been specifically focusing on healthcare travelers over the past 12 or 14 months. And it's awful. It's unconscionable, but it does happen. And to provide our community with ways to find out who those scammers are and how to avoid them is tremendously helpful. So thank you for doing that. I think you guys are a trusted source for housing information. So again, it's fantastic to partner with you guys. One thing I do want to note to our community is the fact that obviously not only do you guys have a fantastic website and a tremendous resource for travel nurses, but also in addition as well, our corporate website is integrated with yours to the extent that we have the your housing feed that people can go there, whether they go to your site or go to our site, they're able to see what is available for housing in a particular area. And also too, on our job board, a nice feature that we've added, let's say somebody goes to view an AMN job, one of our other partners. If they go to our job board and they're looking at particular jobs from AMN, you will also see areas to live as a component of that within there. Rachel, I don't know if you could do a quick toggle over to our website and show people exactly what we're talking about in the minute or two that we have left, but I think that would be great to show the level of integration that we have relative to our Furnished Finder partners.
Yep.
Of course.
While Rachel's doing that, you guys are welcome to reach out to Cami or I directly, Brian at furnishedfinder.com or Camila at furnishedfinder.com. That
would be great. And Rachel, if you're able to, maybe go to our job board and select our partner AMN's jobs, and you can see what a job looks like and scroll down to the bottom of the page where there are some housing options there for our travelers, just to make it that much easier, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, let's bring Sandra up so she can get some claim to fame.
Perfect timing for Sandra.
Yay. Happy to be here. And while Rachel is pulling that up, such great information. And thank you guys. I mean, I was shocked at so much of what you're talking about. And I know we hear it on the daily of people, unfortunately, getting scammed by these people who are just really looking for money. So thank you so much for everything that you guys do. It's something that we recommend to our travelers as well. And like you said, Brian, only about 8% of our clinicians decide to take housing that's provided by us. So very, very minimal. It does give our clinicians that opportunity to find something that really suits them. So love that you guys do all of this and so much due diligence. So I just round of applause for you.
Oh, thank you, Sandra.
Absolutely. So yes, in closing again, Sandra, perfect timing. We just happened to pull up one of AMN's jobs on our job board, and you can see how we make it very convenient as people are looking at different assignment offerings. They're also able to see the housing options available to them. You can also go directly to the housing options if you go under Resource and Housing, and you will find our partners Furnished Finder there. And there is a convenient little search widget there that you can search by city or state, and it has some wonderful filters there. So anyway, I would be remiss if I didn't show that because, again, Furnished Finder has been a tremendous partner. And one of the things we try to do at the Gypsy Nurse is try to support travel nurses on their journey. And I think housing is obviously a key component of what nurses are looking at when they're on the road. So to partner with Furnished Finder on that part of their journey is really fabulous. So Brian and Cami, thank you for what you do. And thank you for being our partners. And thank you for supporting our travel nursing community.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Rachel.
And if I could add too, if any of you guys are in the Facebook groups, or if you find a spammer or scammer, report it to whoever the admin is, because, we have so many people coming through and we do our best to, vet and make sure that, they're a legitimate person, but sometimes someone will change their name. They will come in as one person, then change their name to a different person. And so once you report that person to an admin, we will block them right away. I let Furnished Finder know. I let another housing group know.
Yep.
So we're all of us housing people are working together to make sure that these people are getting blocked, because they try to be sneaky, but the power of all of us will.
We will catch them.
Very good point. Thanks for saying that, Rachel. Yeah, good point.
Rachel, did you want to, in closing, did you want to talk about the prizes that we have? And I know that Sandra had some promotional prizes as well. I just want to make sure that people understand how they are eligible to participate in getting some fantastic prizes this week.
Yeah, definitely. So if you register on the gypsynurse.com or register for the event, or if you do both, you will be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. If you comment and interact on this one, you'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. You'll be entered to win a $250 off a rental. And then you will also be entered to win an AMN, goodie bag. So those two, so 3 chances to win today in this session. So be sure to comment even after, or even share or like, that'll give you some goodies too. So go ahead and do all of that. And then I will pass this over to Sandra so she can talk a little bit more about AMN.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. Again, such an informative presentation. So happy to be a part of it and happy to sponsor it as AMN Healthcare. We definitely recommend Furnished Finder and, of course, provide housing to our clinicians if they need it, but some great tips to definitely utilize. If you're looking for more fun information, we do have some of our travelers that decide to live the hashtag van life. One of our labor and delivery nurses actually has her van, and I'll look at her Instagram handle, but Soul Travel with 2 L's. You can get some fun information and blog posts there if that's ever anything that you're interested in. But you can also find her on our Instagram page at AMN Traveler. We're just so excited to be a part of this. Great information. And thank you again, Steve and Rachel, for allowing us to be joining in today.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for your partnership. We appreciate it. We appreciate your sponsorship. And Rachel, that is a wrap on session number 2. So we've got another session this evening with Karen Buxman talking about humor in nursing, which I think everybody could use a little bit of humor these days. So we look forward to that. And I believe that is at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, it is. Yep.
All
So
right.
be sure to tune in.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we'll see you later on tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
You. And trust your gut, guys. And don't fall for any scams.
That's
Have a good